All right, hello everyone. This is Miss Turner. Happy New Year. Welcome to the last semester, the second semester of 6th grade. So this first lesson, or Unit 7, is what we're going to get into. Before we get into that though, hopefully everyone had a restful break. Hopefully you were able to be with family, be able to relax, kick back, get ready for this second semester. So, like I said, we're getting into Unit 7. Unit 7, we're going to be talking about equations. Now, whenever we're talking about the words or the word equations, hopefully you see equa. So hopefully you remember the equal sign. So equal sign goes with equations. An example of an equation, something that you've seen before, has probably been 6 times 7 equals t. Or maybe you've seen 20 divided by 5 equals g. You've probably also seen something like 4 plus 5 equals x. And you've also probably seen something 3 minus 2 equals let's do y. Okay, but what we're going to be talking about is one-step equations, so it's going to be a little bit different from what you've seen. So it'll be something like 6 times some number, or the variable t, is equal to 42. Okay, that's what we are going to be looking at here these next few weeks. So some important things you need to know. The letter, if you see a letter by itself, if you see a letter, that is called a variable. This is the symbol for an unknown quantity. If you did the vocabulary on Quizlet, you know that. And then these are considered terms. I didn't put this on the vocabulary just because that's easy to remember, terms. Now, another thing that we are going to be talking about is expressions. Expressions are written in just groups of terms. They do not have an equal sign. So 6 times 7, that's an expression. 42, that's an expression. 3 minus x, that's an expression. X, that's an expression and a variable. Okay? But what we're going to be doing today is we're just going to be modeling equations. So hopefully you've already watched the video from BrainPop. Now what I'm going to do is show you how to use the model in Braining Camp. Now, what you could do is you could go back to Schoology and go to the next page in this folder, and it will tell you how to get to Braining Camp. You need to log into Clever, go to my page, and find the Braining Camp icon. Then you'll go to the icon that says Algebra Tiles, and then from there, you're going to go to the bottom right. And it's going to say Basic first, so it's going to look like this first. But once you click Basic and then you press Solving, you'll have your 2 sides for your equations. Then what I'm asking you to do is use the mat to model, pick 4 of these equations and just model. I'm not asking you to solve, I'm just asking you to model. So what I'm asking you to do is this. Say I had the equation x plus 5 equals 7. So I need to figure out what number plus 5 is going to get me to 7. Now, some of you already have this in your head. You already know what the answer is, and that is great. But what we're doing is we are modeling equations, and we're going to show what that looks like with a visual representation. So the first one I clicked on was x, and it takes out this green rectangle. This is going to be my this is going to be the manipulative I use to represent my x's. Now to represent positive numbers, I'm just going to select this yellow square. Now what you can do if you don't want to click them one by one is just click on the squares until you get however many you need. Now I'm going to slide one over here on the right side because you see my mat has been split in two. So I'm going to click on the right side and I'm going to put 7. Now if you look down here, it shows you what equation you have on the mat so far. So far I have x plus 5 equals 1, but I need it to be x plus 5 equals 7. So I'm just going to click until I get x plus 5 equals 7. So again, the green rectangles, that represents the variable x. The yellow boxes, those represent 1 each. So if I combine that together, I would have a total of 5. Same thing with this side, except I have more than 5. I have 7 on this side. So I have x, and because they're positive and we want to combine them, or find this total sum, we're going to add. So x plus 5 equals 7. That matches, the picture matches, and my equation down below matches. Okay? Now say you want to move on to the next question. Bottom left, press clear all. Okay? Say my next equation is 5 equals 3 plus x. All right, our equation looks a little bit different this time, but it's still the same. I'm still going to model it the same. So I'm going to take out 5 yellow boxes. All right, I have 5 on the left. Now I need 3 positive. So I'm going to write 1, 2, 3. Now I need an x. Now normally we see the x on the left side, but on this problem it's going to be on the right. And it's okay that it's written x plus 3 instead of 3 plus x because it's adding. That means you can write it in any order. You can write it as x plus 3 or you can write it as 3 plus x. You'll still get the same answer. So again, I just want you to model it. All I'm asking you to do is the picture. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to model on the Wiser activity, which is going to be your next assignment. However, before I show you that, I want to show you one with the negative. So what if I had x minus 3 equals, let's do, to make it easy, let's do 6. Okay, so again, because I want to just model, I'm not solving, I'm just modeling, I'm going to take out 1x because I only see x. So x by itself just means 1. Now since I'm subtracting 3, I'm going to be taking out 3 negative ones because that means minus 3 or negative 3 equals, and I'm going to have a positive 6. Okay, so that's what my model is going to look like. If I have a subtraction or a negative number, I'm going to be using my red pieces. Now your x can be red as well, but that's not going to get until we get into like 7th grade. Maybe we'll have 1 or 2 problems here in 6th grade, but in 7th grade you'll see that more often. Now, when we get to the Wiser activity, I'm going to show you how to do that in just one moment. All right, so on the Wiser, it's going to say draw the model of the equation. So you're only going to have 4 models that you're going to have to draw. So my first one, it says x minus 3 equals 1. So again, I'm just drawing. My x is positive, so I'm going to make sure this is highlighted. I'm going to go to my color wheel and I'm going to choose green. Remember, x is with a long green rectangle. You don't have to color it in. You can just do that. As long as you outline it with green, I'll know that it was positive. So since I'm subtracting, I'm going to write minus. Then my next step, I'm going to be taking away 3. So I'm going to draw 3 little squares here. Then it says equals, and remember the equal sign, oopsies, the equal sign just looks like this. It's just equals to or is, and then my 1 is positive, so I'm going to put, oopsies, my 1 is positive, so I'm going to put 1 yellow box over here. So I drew my equation, x minus 3 equals 1. Now I'm going to draw my second equation, and again, my x is symbolized with a green rectangle. Then this one I'm multiplying, or I'm sorry, I'm adding, so I'll just say plus. Then I'll say plus 4, and it's positive, so it'll be yellow. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm gonna say, oops, click it. Then I'm gonna say equals, and my positive is 8. So I'm gonna go back to yellow, and I'm gonna draw 8 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And no, it's not going to be perfect, and that's totally fine. So all I did was I drew my model. I did my drawing based off what I learned from Braining Camp. Now, if you have questions, please send me a message on Schoology, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'm looking forward to this next second semester with you guys. I hope you had a great, restful break, and I hope you're ready to learn. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later.